Hey everyone, it's Key of W. I'm looking at the title screen of the Artisan of Glimmith again. I'm doing this because I was just going crazy. I felt like I must be overreacting. And what YouTuber doesn't do that? Overreact to video games. But look how many puzzles I've solved here. This is just an extra file. I go back and look at old things. This here is the one I'm playing on. I've solved over 1,000 puzzles. I am still quite a ways from finishing the game entirely. I just keep on saying this is too long. This is too much. This game is too big and it's bloated. But I thought maybe there's some other game out there. So I went and I thought, what is the biggest puzzle game that I can think of? Like, not just the biggest as far as its impact on the culture, but has the most puzzles in it. So I was trying to think of that, and I think the answer to me is The Witness. And as soon as I say that, some of you probably immediately go into shock, like, oh no, don't bring that one up again. No, The Witness is the giant of the industry as far as I'm concerned with indie puzzle games. Every indie puzzle game since is basically a continuation of, or a commentary on, or a rejection of The Witness. It is the standout game here. And The Witness is chock full of puzzles. I thought maybe The Witness has this many, and I'm being kinder to Jonathan Blow than I am to these devs, which shouldn't happen. Nobody should be kind to Jonathan Blow, but I'm Tish. But, no, The Witness actually only has 523 puzzles. I looked it up. 523. That doesn't include the environmental puzzles, of which there are like 200 maybe. So I didn't look that one up. I just looked up the regular puzzles because I was thinking like what counts, like the panel puzzles that you play in the game. 500, most of which are actually quite easy. Like really a small percentage of the Witness puzzles are designed to be super challenging. Those ones can take forever to do, but a very small percentage of it. So of 523, maybe 100 of them are crazy hard, right? They give you a bunch of gimmies. This one has, it's probably going to be like 1,100 by the time I'm done, maybe even 1,200. And not to say that I don't want to see more than 100 hard puzzles, but like, there's so many. I checked my playtime, I checked through all the videos. I'm up to like 70 plus hours on this, and I'm not even close to done. I'm like, that's a lot of time. That is just a lot. It just feels like too much. And I feel vindicated now having looked that up to see I cannot find a single game that has this much except for Islands of Insight, which has 20,000 and is also, by the way, a bloated experience. Just there. That's it. It's too big. I have my evidence. It is too big. There are too many things in this game. Great. I'm starting off angry, which is always fun. Let's go find the last window to guild, which is this one. It's not actually the last window in the game. It's just the last one before we go to these secret post-ending games. Because it feels like this is the ending spot. And so we're mostly through. So I haven't rubified that. I haven't bejeweled it. Yeah, I've done most of the white ones. And then we go through. Yeah, there's just one more. Then I've got to do these guys. So let's do this compass window so we can guild everything. I don't know if I'll do it in one video because there are a lot here. Like, I don't know. Most areas feel like the right size. I'm not saying every area needs to have fewer things in it. It feels about right to have 50 or so puzzles in the set, although I think it could be a little less, but I don't think every single area needs to be cut in half, because then there's not enough per area. It's just there's too many areas, there's too many different rules, there's too many cutesy little things they do. It's just overdone. And so now, like, it doesn't mean that every puzzle's bad. I'm still doing some puzzles that I like. It's just that I want it to be done. I wanted to have that experience. It's like going to a movie and then the movie's 6 hours long. It's like, it's fine, but I didn't expect to walk into a 6-hour movie. So we got to have this going on. So the compass rule, I should probably explain. This is one of the hardest rules for me to understand. The way the compass rule works is that the number on the side, up, left, right, down, is going to tell you how many cells in that direction are going to be attached to the compass. And that attachment is going to be anywhere in that direction, not directly. So this thing says 2 to the right, right? So these 2 cells are to the right of this compass. They're directly to the right, that works. But these 2 cells are also to the right of the compass. That counts. This cell right up here is to the right, even though it is up. It doesn't have to be directly right, to the right. Otherwise, the compass would be too easy. You just do that and you're good. So that is what we have to go with. And in fact, with this piece right here, we know we can't do both of the pieces to the right because it's going to touch this compass, which also needs 2 to the right, which is going to overload it. So it's going to be 2 out of those 3. Is it going to... Can I block this one? Like, I can do this, right? Yeah, this is fine. This might actually be the answer. I'm trying to think, like, how do you get 2 above and 2 to the right? Right? Like, if we added this up and said that it was 2 directly to the right, 2 directly above, right? This is obviously not the shape. So to get the shape, we have to have it this way, right? Yeah. Is there any other way to do the shape? I think this is the shape here. Because I think if we do any other arrangement, we don't have enough. This is going to have way too much above, obviously. I think this is, in fact, the arrangement that we have to do here. This can only have 2 to the right. So it could be this way, or it could be that way. I think we have these. This won't work because nothing will fit in there, so it would have to be like this. I feel like I'm on the right track here. And now the rest of this is just sort of a victory lap. This doesn't work. No. This isn't right. That's right. There we go. Okay. Kind of feels like that puzzle was do this part right here, and then the rest of it just magic happens, which is fine, I guess, for a 3. Yeah, we're doing the force now. I was trying to think, is there easier? Let's just do the force. So we got to make an L shape, a W shape, or whatever the hell this shape is with the compass thing going on. All right, well, we know we can't go to the right of that. Just 1 space there. 5 spaces to the right. Well, hold on. 5 spaces to the right means we can't possibly use any of these two. We have to use this one, right? Because this L doesn't even have 5 pieces on it. So it can't be the L. It can't be the W, because the W, it would have to be a part of this, right? And there's only 4 more pieces, so you can only get 4 more pieces to the right. Therefore, we have to use whatever this is. So how do I do that? Something like this? That doesn't have enough. This is too many. So we can only have 1 space above. 1 space above, I think, means it is basically like this. Is this the only way we can do this? I think so, right? So when I look at this shape, basically 1 piece is going to stick out. So if this piece doesn't correspond to whatever is above here, then I'm going to have multiple pieces sticking out. There's no other arrangement, so it does have to be. But it won't be this direction because there's not enough to that way. So it has to be like this. This has got to be it. I can't think of another way to do this. Then whatever piece goes here now can't move down. Because if this piece moves down, right? Let me lock this one in, pretend that I know what I'm doing. If I move this piece down, then I can't fill this one in, because this piece can't take all of them, obviously, and now there's no piece that works. So I'd have to do this, and I can't make this one of these things. This piece can't be a W piece, because it'll always have multiple. It's going to have to be an L piece. Which direction will the L go? I'm still pretending this is right. I can't think of anything else it's going to be. Yeah, this has to be L, because there's no way this piece, even if I hadn't filled this one in, there's no way this piece is going to have only 1 piece moving this direction. It's got to have multiple. So if the L moves this way, right, it's not going to create orphan cells. It's not going to do that. So we have to, this is one way it can go. Nothing would fit in here then. So I think it has to go this way, which gives me more L's in here, I think. I think that's the only way to fit that stuff in. 6. This also has to be. We have to get 6, which means this is going to make things interesting. I don't know if this is correct now, because this 6 now you have to have all 6 of these below, which means this is the nub, which means something like this or something like that. Is there another way to arrange this? Here, let me start over with this in mind. This is the 6. So I have to have all 6 below. So I can't move either of these directions. I have 6 more cells I can use. They must all be below. This is the only spot. So it's either this or that. So I think this is the starting spot, which does put an L shape here. Oh, I'm silly. I can still do this now that I've set that up. I can just set this up so it's like this or like that. That's much better. this could be a W or an L shape. I don't know. So now this can't go above. So what is going to go above? It's got to go 3 spaces to the left. So it could be an L. That's going to fit. 3 spaces to the left means it's not a W, right? Unless it's like that. All right, let's lock these in again. I think this is right up here. This is fine as well as that. We don't really know. So what goes up in this spot? Because I can still put an L here. I can't put a W up here. Could I put this shape up here? No. Because it would be these 6 spaces, and then it would have to extend left or right 1 space. So I do have to put an L up here. And it's got to be like that. Which means this is also an L. It's the only thing that has this extension. And it can't be this way because it's above, so it's got to be here, which means this is the W shape, right? Because if it's an L shape, this doesn't satisfy the 3. This doesn't satisfy the 3. And the big shape overextends it, so it is in fact this. Perhaps. This can only extend 1 space to the left, which means it is not this big shape. It isn't the W. There's no way the W can do it. It'll always overload. This is an L, and it's got to go into this space, so it's going to be this way. This definitely is the big shape. Just don't immediately see how it is. Trying to think, can I see anything out of these center? No, I think I still got to get pieces on the edge before I know what I'm doing. If this is the shape, right? I need 3 over and 4 up. So it won't be something like this. This will overload. This would do it. Is there any other arrangement that would do it? Because this is going to cause a problem in there. This would do it. And it would break the puzzle. There's got to be an arrangement of this I'm not seeing. I could also be very wrong about all this. I just don't think I am. This is the thing. I actually don't quite understand this rule as much as I would like quite yet, which is fine. I'm not saying that in the sort of tone of voice like the game has failed me. It's just, no, I haven't gotten it yet. This one's going to have 3, which means it can't be this. It could if it was like so, but it would cause a problem here. Or it could be like that. This can also just be a W shape. I don't think this can be the big shape. Yeah, there's that. This one can't be the big shape. Can it be... Can this be the L shape? I don't think this can ever be the L. Because this won't have enough spaces above it, right? This would, though. This is the L. Can this be the W? Can I ever do this as the W? Well, I can't move to the right, so I'd have to move either left, which overloads, or I have to move up, which overloads. So this is, in fact, the L, and this is the only way to do it. I can easily fit these here. Like, this works really well, but I don't know if that's right. I think it is because it works so well, but that's really not, I don't want to say, yeah, it's obviously that. Now, if this was a W shape, it would have to be this one. This is the only thing it can be. Because it can't be, it could be that as well, but that doesn't leave anything there. It can't go this way because it's the orphan cell. It can't be there. So yeah, it would have to be this shape, which doesn't leave anything down here. Like I could fit an L in here and then have a problem, and I can't fit that shape in there. There's not only not enough pieces in there, it's just this is the wrong shape. So I think this has to be an L shape. Which means that's a possibility to make 3 to the right. No, wait, this doesn't make 3 to the right at all. How do I do 3 to the right here? That's one way. That's one way. It all has to be... I can't do this. The thing I showed earlier was actually incorrect. This is only 2 to the right. So what can go down here? Another one of these? This isn't it. It's gotta be this, but then this doesn't work. This can't work because we can't make anything fit here. This doesn't work. Can I make this shape work? I don't think this shape could ever work. Because, like, I have to put a piece somewhere. It's not going to work. That's overloaded. Maybe this... I just don't see any other way to do this piece. If I knew more about this, I'd have a better idea what I'm doing. Because now I'm in guess mode because I feel like I've made a mistake somewhere in this puzzle that I can't fix. So let me go back. One of the big problems with this game, there's many big problems that I don't feel are fixable. That's just how the game is, and you just have to deal with it. One of the big problems is if you do make a mistake in a puzzle, it's very, very difficult to find the mistake. You usually have to just start over and try again because you just need to clear the board and find the spot again. At least I have found that is what I have to do. There's no other arrangement of this. Yeah, it's got to be like that. So this now has to be the L shape. Nothing else fits. Great. We're great. This... I mean, there's maybe other arrangements of this. How do I make... This piece has to be... I can only take one of these, so it has to be that piece. So it's this way or this way. There's no other arrangement of this. So it's this one. So when it comes to this guy, this can't be anything except the L shape. This is one way, but nothing fits in here. Nothing from this set fits in there. This is fine. This is not. Nothing's going to fit there, and then this is not. So it is this shape. That has to be right. So what do I do with this one? I can't make this a W shape, can I? W shape works as long as it is this way. Trouble with this shape, if I do the W shape here, is now I need an L shape there. So now I need to bring this shape up. Can't bring it to the right, so it has to go up again. Now it has to be this shape. And then it can't move to the right, it can't move left, it's going to overload. So this won't work. This could potentially work. Could this ever be W? This can't be W because no matter what we do, we overload. Because we can't move to the right. This can't be this shape because now, what do I do? I'm just overloading no matter what happens. So yeah, this is in fact the L shape. Gotta have two spaces above. It just has to be this. I cannot see another... And that's the problem is when I'm saying this, I say it as in I cannot see, not in the sense of that is correct, as much as I don't have the vision I need here. I just don't have the ability to see all the ways this shape will go. Which is why I'm still struggling with the compass thing, is because it requires me to understand the shapes in a way I just haven't got my mind around yet. And that's fine, but like, I suppose if I had just sat in this area and done all 60 of the puzzles in it, it would be great, but I keep jumping back and forth. That's on me, but it's also, the game kind of encourages you to do that because it's this wide open landscape, so why would I do that? The game lets me go back and forth, so I'm going to lose whatever momentum I had, unless I play the game in a way that it doesn't tell me I have to play it. That's just an issue with open world games in general. Every open world game has this problem. Yeah, so if I said this was blocked, right? This is one way, but it's not going to work. It doesn't have enough there. This is going to... Oh, no, this is fine. This is one way we can do it. Actually, this might be it. So because I don't... It's either this or that. So that's what I need. I needed to find another arrangement of this L. I got it. There it is. That's the arrangement of the L. So it means I do have to take this and I have to go no further. So something's got to go in here. Now, if I put this as this shape, if I said this was this shape here, we would then have to do that. That's how it would have to be. There's no other way, right? Because if I said this is the nub, we have that shape, which is going to leave an orphan. So it would have to take both of these, and it would have to take this spot, which means this spot is now an orphan because we do that. So no, if this was a W shape, we wouldn't do this because we'd leave an orphan. We'd have to make it this way, which would give us this. And now we're in trouble here because we can't make this an L shape. That's not going to work. We can't make that this shape. It doesn't fit. So this would also be a W shape, and now this shape is not complete. So let's go back. This also has to be an L shape, I think. And it won't be like this because that'll leave an orphan. So it's either that or that. So I think we have an L shape that does this as well. And this is bad because then it creates this L shape here. So this is the L shape this way. Now this, I just found an L shape I can do here that I didn't think of. This has 3 to the right. This is good. This is good. This is 3 to the right. Like, I have a lot of ways out of this. This doesn't. I actually can't have, I have to have it go straight out. All the pieces have to be. So this is one arrangement. That's not going to work. I can't bring this up into there. This is one arrangement. This won't work because it will force me to have a problem there. So this is, in fact, the arrangement. Now, that has to be the arrangement. This will cause a problem, so here we go. I think that's it. I think I just needed to start over so I could see this spot empty again. And so now with this piece, this has to be an L. This can't be a W. There is no way to do the W without massively overloading it. This piece would always massively overload it, because if we only had one piece like this coming out, the rest of these have to be further back. So this is in fact an L. This is one way. This is one way. I don't know if there's any other way. I think these are the ways. Was there another way? Yeah, this or that is also possible. Which means I don't know what to do with this. Yeah, that. There's so many things I can do here. Here, if this was an L, if this was an L piece, we couldn't move down, because if we move down, we don't have enough pieces left. We only have 4 pieces total, which means 3 left out of this shape, and we'd have to make all of them go left from here. So we'd have to do this, which doesn't leave us much in here. We can't fill this in. We have no shapes that are 6. We have a 4, a 5, and a 7. We can't make that equal 6. Therefore, this is not the L. Now, this can't be this piece because we have to add 6 more pieces, only 3 of them over here, which isn't going to work, right? Think of it as like this shape occupies a 3x3 box, right? So where is this in the 3x3 box? It means we can't go to the right. It has to be on an edge somewhere. And what edge can we do that doesn't have more than 3 spaces looking away from it on any side? Like if this is the piece in this corner, we have 4 on this side and we have 4 on this side, right? If this is the piece here, well, it wouldn't be because we can't move up. But we have 4 this way. We have 3 that way, but we'd have to move both directions. It has to be like a corner, like this corner here. That has 5 pieces that way, 4 that way. This corner right here has 6 that direction, 4 that direction. It's all too much. So this needs to be the W. That would overload. So it has to be. We do have to have this go on, which means we have to have this go on. Now this causes a problem because I do not know what to put in this spot. Maybe I should start with, this one. 3 and 4. Is there any way to make this? Oh, this doesn't have to be this shape. I think I can make this shape. Yeah, it just barely fits. Because I was thinking, how do I do this shape? Maybe I can do it this way. Oh, I'm going to make these colors so I can see them more easily. Maybe I can do it this way if I said this is so, because now we can have this. We can probably fit this guy in here. Then this can fit there. That might be how it is. Because the other way, with putting the big shape here, I just ended up with the problem in this corner. Which means I still got to do this. And now from here, I've got a couple options with this. This can't be an L shape. This can't be that shape. So this does have to be, that's got to be another W. This probably is here, and then we have 2 more L's. That's it. I actually really like that puzzle a lot, and I feel like I learned a lot from it. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna say about it. I think I liked it a lot because it really forced me to think in a lot of ways that was really interesting. It felt more difficult than a 4 to me, but not really. Like, I've complained about this difficulty, but I also know that going into compass puzzles, I don't understand them as much. So I go in thinking that 4s should be a little harder. Like, that is the expectation that's been set for me, and this met that expectation. It felt harder than a 4, but everything feels a little harder than the number in the compass zone, so I have a frame of reference to do that, right? Does that make sense? Like, that felt like it was right. It felt like it was right on the money as far as what that puzzle should be. All right, let's get these zeros. Oh, well, that one's done. Solitude. Okay, so we got to figure out how to fill in. Oh boy, that means this guy right here. This one has to go in that area because yellow can't, red can't go anywhere. This green one can't go to this corner. It would have way, way too many spaces to the left of it. So the blue one has to be in this corner. I can only take 2. I can take 3 of these. So it's possible that I do this. Is there a reason why I would go this way? Yeah. If I go this way, if I don't go around here, if I go through here, the yellow piece now has to go like that. If I go around through here, the yellow piece has to go around that way. Because the yellow piece now has to get somewhere down here. So I think we have to go around this way. And then, oh, I have to get 2 pieces there. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Hold on. If I go around this way, right, to get up to this corner, I still have to take this piece. Then what are the 2 pieces I take to the right? Because if I take this, I leave an orphan. I can't bring this down. In fact, this now has to be something like this. Well, no, not this one. Sorry, this one. But now I have no way. No, this is just right. This is just right. Okay, that was weird. That was just a weird one. I didn't grok that one. Okay. Why would there be a compass here that has no symbol on it? What is this for? Well, I guess this is saying I'm going to have a space that has to take a symbol in it. It's just weird. It's just kind of weird to do that. That it can be anything. So whatever's left over from this, I fill with this. I don't like that. I need 3 below and 2 below. So everything down here is going to be taken with red and blue. I can't move this way, right? Yes, I can't move this way. The reason is because now what's going to take that? I still need 2 below. So unless I do it like this, I'm going to end up taking this spot, leaving an orphan cell or something like that. Leave orphan cells. So I think I got to do that. I think I've got to take these 2. Hold on a second. No. The 3 have to be, so it is something like this. Which is possible. No, hold on. This has to take 2. This isn't gonna work either. Oh, this can come up though. This can come up and then that's too many. This is how many. Is that just it? No, this has to get somewhere to the left of it. Oh, does it just not have anything? This just doesn't have... Yeah, this is... So, like, okay. Let's have a brief discussion, class, on expectations and setting expectations. Every game is going to do this. There's the written rules, like these. And then there's just unwritten rules, things that we come to expect. Either tropes of a genre or just ways that we've made our levels. The thing I can think of with the puzzle game that comes to mind immediately is Portal. In the original Portal, there's a technique called the double fling. If you don't know what I'm talking about, sorry. I can't explain it better. There's a double fling where you put a portal on the ground and one in the air. You jump in the one on the ground, you come out of the one in the air, then you put another portal on the ground, or you fall into the one you set and fling yourself out of the top portal again. And in that first game, especially early on when you're first learning that trick, the designers always place particular patterns on the ground that they don't call too much attention to themselves, but they are this pattern that every time you use the double fling, that pattern exists. And for a while, like that, setting up an expectation. There isn't a rule that says you have to double fling when you see that. It's just that every time you've seen that, you've had that double fling technique, right? So the designers are telling you a couple things. One, they're reminding you that this trick exists because if they don't put that on the floor, players might not think of it. So by reinforcing the trick with a particular visual thing, they remind the players to use that trick in certain spots. It also sets up that expectation that if you're playing the game and you see that pattern, there's probably going to be a double fling there, right? But then later on, they can break that expectation by having you do that trick when you don't see that pattern. But that expectation being broken is interesting because you get to a point where you're comfortable enough with the game that you can improvise. You can come up with these tricks you've already learned without the game having to guide you, right? That's an example of breaking expectations in an interesting way. I'm trying to think of what's another one. Breaking expectations in an interesting way. Let's go. I don't want to do. I already talked about the witness earlier, and I feel like Jonathan Blow shouldn't get more than one reference per video, or his head will puff up so big it'll explode. But like, I was just thinking, like, you have this expectation, and at some point you're going to break it, and that breaking of it's got to be in an interesting way, or surprising, or it's got to help in some sort of way. This here, I feel, was trying to break an expectation. So the compass here always has numbers on it. This one doesn't have numbers. And so the expectation on this is we can send it anywhere, right? Like, that's what we're being sent. But what actually happened in this puzzle was this was just a dead block. This block didn't do anything. That's what ended up happening with this puzzle. There. That took me 10 minutes to say. My God. Like, I complain about this puzzle being long, and I can't make a sentence under 45 words to save my life. This thing, the expectation was, oh, there's no numbers. This could do anything, and it didn't do anything. It just sat there, and it's a single block. If there had instead been an empty space here that couldn't be filled in, how would this puzzle have changed? What would have changed about the puzzle? The answer is nothing. If you say the answer is anything different, you are incorrect and you're going to jail. This didn't do anything. Sure, I could say that my expectation of this block doing something led me to have more challenge in the puzzle because I could make the assumption if this got to move somewhere, where's it going to move? But doing all the rest of these, I just filled around this block. This block did nothing for the puzzle. This is not the first puzzle this has happened. This doesn't happen so much in the game that I think it is like a chronic problem of these developers. Like, oh, every puzzle's got to have a red herring in it. But no, this does not affect the puzzle at all. If we said this is just an empty space, exactly the same solution arrived at the exact same way. This is only here for some pattern, I guess, or it's only here for some red herring. It's breaking expectations, but not in an interesting way. The expectation when I saw this was set that something interesting was going to happen that I'd never seen before. I'd never seen a compass with no number. That's interesting. I expect something interesting to happen with it. You broke my expectation by doing nothing interesting with it. Do you understand, devs that are obviously watching every video I make and taking notes? Why would you not do that? I'm so important. Listen to me. But no, this is not good. Don't do this. Unless you have other puzzles that you expect me to get to beforehand, which do use blank compasses in an interesting way, then you could break that expectation. But this is the first one I've seen. So you've set me up to have an expectation of an interesting thing happening that doesn't happen. If you want to do this, you need me to do multiple puzzles ahead of time, and I have to get those ones before this, so your open world thing ain't going to work for here. I have to get there beforehand, see that these are always big regions, and then the joke is that it's small. But no, you just used a dead... I'm done. I'm just fucking done. Okay. Let's get this. We have the same rules before Solitude Compass. I think these rules work really well together. I just got mad about that because once again I was being punked. Like, what is going on here? Like, you haven't earned the cleverness that comes with doing a bad puzzle. You just haven't earned it. Okay. What color is this gonna be? I've used all 8 colors. We're gonna use. It's 2 purple colors. I don't care. I'm just on purple right now. Okay, so the challenge here, this bottom row, is that these 2 together add up to 7, 3 plus 4, and that's the whole row. So do we have this scenario? No, because, yeah, I'm stupid. Yeah, I can't do that. So I have to take these 4. There's no other 4 I can take. Which means this has to take these 3. All right, now let's add up over here. We got 3 plus 1 plus 2 is 6. That's the remainder of these. So this can take 3, but it can't take that one. Who's going to take this fella? Huh. This can't be the teal color. It can be the cyan if I do this. It can be the blue if I do this. Hold on a second. If blue goes up, it has to go through here. It could go around this. Could go around. Yep. God damn it. I'm clicking wrong. Sorry. It could go around this way to get up there. It just can't go through here. So it would go this way and then down, which would leave me with this, which would break. So I don't think blue. I think it's got to be cyan. Is that right? Am I? Wait, hold on. This one here, this can't have any more spaces to the left. This can't have any more of those. This can move up, but we don't know that yet. Yeah, but maybe, like if it's one of these things, I don't know. So red's got to come through here, actually. Hold on. How am I going to make this work then? No, red's got it. Red can't come through there. Red's got to come through here. It just has to. If red comes through here, now I need 2, 3, 6 spaces to the right. I don't have them. So red does have to come this way, which means it does have to be cyan coming through there. And then blocked. This is take 3 spots. It has to take at least these 2. So now the only way to get a spot that isn't this one is to go this long route, which I think is very silly. Yeah, because now the only space to the right, yeah, there's 0 space to the right. That's nice. Clever. 0 space to the right, 0 space to the right, 1 space to the right. There's only 1 space left. It's got to be this one. So we have to go this way. Let's make this a little bit lighter, please. Thank you. And this has to move down because this has to fill in here. So the blue one's done. Let's make this blue because I know it won't touch, but purple might touch it. So there you go. And we have to have this. Okay, so we have 4 spaces left up here. We got to take them with both of these. Feels like this is actually just going to work. I can't think of any other thing I'd do there. I was hoping to have something a little bit harder to figure. Not like that was too easy. Doggone it, the puzzle suite. More like this is an easy thing to say, but I can't see whether this is right or wrong. So that would just be me guessing it. Is there any way I can like prove this? This is the exact thing I can do. If I didn't bring this, this is how I would do it. If I didn't have this piece move up, right, then this has to be yellow. So yellow would have to take both of those spots. And it couldn't take this one, which means green has to now take those 2, and it's got to way overload there. So we know now that green has to take that spot. Is there any way green doesn't take this one? No, because then yellow would take, right, like these 2 or something. We'd have to at least take that one, which means green again has to go around. So no, this is in fact how we do it. And now we have 1 space to the left, 2 up. So we can take this, we can take that as well. I just need 1 more space to the left here. And it's probably going to be this. Yeah, it's got to be this space. The yellow, if the yellow doesn't take this space, who does? Who does? Everyone else is going to overload. So yellow's got to take that space. Can't take that one now, but we can do that if we want. The green, if it doesn't take this space, would have to take that one, and now yellow could take that. We're fine. We're fine. I don't know that yet. Who's going to be in here? That's the question. Who is going to be, because we can only move this way. Who is going to take that spot? Huh. Oh, I see. I put a wall here prematurely. I can keep going here. This guy can keep going. So, because red's got to come through there. Red has got to take this spot. And then it can take that, or it can... I think it has to take this one, because otherwise, what other piece is it going to take? So we got to take this. Yeah, that's it. Okay, this one was very clever. You brought me back, guys. This was a clever puzzle. I really like this one. I also feel like they're harder than I expect them to be because, again, I still have trouble grasping this rule. So the difficulty numbers now mean something a little different. I think this is an okay way for difficulty to be variable, actually. Like if you're telling me the game has a difficulty from 1 to 7, based on how well I think I understand the rule, and I want to emphasize how much I think I understand the rule, because this is all very subjective. How well I think I understand the rule is going to also clue me in. I'm expecting on a typical puzzle, if I know what I'm doing, 1 should be trivial, 7 should be mind-bending, 4 should be a middle of the road. But if I don't understand the rule well, I'm going to expect that 1s and 2s are actually going to be a little bit tough, a little bit tricky, 4s are going to be quite challenging, and 7s might just be beyond my reach, right? But I have an expectation based on the number. So as long as that expectation matches, I'm having a good time. If the expectation doesn't match, then I'm not, which is me telling the developers, it is just too risky to be doing this. To make the only way of categorizing your puzzles the difficulty number, it means that, like, I'm getting lucky here, but if I wasn't getting lucky, this would be the worst day for me because I would be running into problems. Either this is too easy or too hard. I'm expecting about the same from this now. And the more I understand the compass rule, the easier the 4s are going to get. My expectations will change, and now your game needs to match these new expectations. As I was talking about earlier about breaking expectations, needs to be in an interesting way. Breaking expectations by telling me the puzzle is medium difficulty and actually it's super easy or super hard, not an interesting way to break expectations. That's just you not understanding your game. Okay, precision, mingle shape, compass. So what do we got? We got our I lost thing coming up again, which I know from other games. Although I'm sure somewhere in this game there were a series of puzzles or a puzzle somewhere that really wanted me to learn this thing. It just wasn't presented in a way that I caught it. That's just how it is. I'm sure. I just don't think there's any way the developers didn't think to make a puzzle that goes over this. It's too easy of a thing to miss. I can make shapes that don't include the compasses. Okay, so there is that. I like putting this up here because this also kind of explains how I feel about myself playing this game. I feel very lost. So in here, what are the shapes we can make? We can't make this an I shape because we can only get 1 space to the right by doing that. We could make this an O shape quite easily in any sort of capacity. We can't make this a T shape that I can think of because there's no way to get... Yeah, I can get 3 spaces to the right or I can get 1 space to the right, but I can't get more than that. The S shape would have to be either this or that. Last but not least, we have the L shape, which isn't possible. It is possible. Darn it, I have way too many options for that. Let's try this 3. This 3 is more important, right? This 3 is more important because we can't move in any direction. We have to have everything be 4. So if I move this direction at all, I now only have 2 spaces left to go over here. So we got to do this. We have a couple options. We have the L shape and we have the S shape. Now, normally I don't want to connect these to each other, but I can actually make this connected because 3 to the right and 1 to the right, this actually works. An I shape could be here. So I actually haven't really ruled anything out. All I've ruled out is T shape. T shape can't happen. O shape can't happen. Everything else could happen. Great, I can do the same thing down here. L shape works. S shape works. And I shape works. Now with this piece, what would this piece be? This could be the I shape. It can't be the O shape. Can it be the L shape? Only way I can think of L shape working is that. Or that. Well, that just blocks that in, so it'd have to be like this. This doesn't work. This can't be an L shape. If I make this an L shape, right, I block this in. So, this shape now can't be the I shape, can't be the T shape, can't be the O shape. It can't be the L shape because it's going to touch that, so it must be the S shape. But now this piece is going to have all of its spaces to the right. Therefore, this is not the L shape. Can this be the S shape? In order to make the S shape, I would have to... the S shape is going to break no matter what I do, because I can't move in this direction with the S shape, so I have to do this, which means something like this doesn't mean... I need 1 space to the right, which is now this, leaving an orphan self. This can't be S or L. This can't be O, I, or T. Can this be T? Yes, this can be T like this. This isn't going to work. Is there any other way to make the T? Yes, this way, but that blocks that in. This way blocks it in. Yeah, this is the only way to make the T. The trouble is now there's an L shape here, and now this shape doesn't have 2 spaces to the right. So I think we are going to use the I shape here. I feel like I've got that logic right, and I really hope it's true, because if it isn't, I am in trouble. So whatever is in this spot here, it could attach here and be this. This would fill in. Or if it doesn't attach, it can't move up this way because now this doesn't have enough. So this piece has to be here. It's either the L shape or the S shape. But I don't know what it is. Can I do the same trick up here to rule this out as anything but the I shape? This can't be an O shape because it'll never work. So we have to rule out T, S, and L. L shape can't move back. So it can do this. Well, L shape would then force this to not be L. It'd have to be an S shape, and now we'd have a problem. So this can't be an L shape. Can this be an S shape? No, because whatever we do, if we move this here, we have to do that. If we don't move that there, then we have to do this. So not S, not L. This can't be a T shape because we have the same problem. We just can't fill this in. So I think we have to make this an I shape as well. I think I've ruled out the others, which means this is an O shape to fit that in. This is now an L shape. So now, what do I do here? I know. I actually just see the rest of the puzzle on this one. I think that's fine. I don't like seeing the whole puzzle, but I feel like the bulk of the puzzle was working out that you could make I shapes here. Which I'm sure, if you understand Compass better than I do, this was much easier. You got that answer quicker than me, but that's fine. I can put an S shape here, and I'm going to put an S shape here, because I'm going to put an L shape there. I'm going to put an I shape back here, and I'm going to put an O shape here. And that's how the puzzle is ended. Nice. I think that one was very good. I've actually quite liked these Compass puzzles, even though they feel more challenging to me than I think they should be, because I just feel like I don't grasp this rule as well as I would like. This looks rather complicated for a 3 difficulty puzzle. Mingle shape is all I know, but don't have much else on that. I can't go that way. Can't go that way. Like, this works, but what else could I do? Could I ever make this part of that? No. This can't ever reach this 4. Yeah, we can't ever. Yeah, I think that's where we go. If these two are attached to each other, I have to have 4 to the right of this, and I can't go below I can't go to the right of that. So that means I would have to take 4 in this range, and that's way gonna overload that. So if I can't take that space, I have to take these. I have to make this shape. This is the only thing I can do. But how on earth am I going to get 4 to the right? How would I do that? Unless I went this way. No, right. You can't do that. You can't do that. It has to be like this. This piece feels like an obvious move here. Oops, hold on, there. 3 and 4, and then I just need 1 piece up. How am I going to get 4 here? Now this one actually I feel can touch that. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this piece can touch in here. See, this actually matches, right? If I do this piece, it's just done. I think that's how it's going to go, but it feels too good to not use. This is a piece, or that's... Oh, hold on, I can't go that way. So, yeah, it's got to be this. Yeah, I guess if you have to go 2 in one direction and then 2 on the corner, like this, and you can't go any of the other ones. You either have a V shape or you have an O shape. I think we have to do that, which gives me an orphan cell down there, which is fine. We can do that here. It doesn't have to be attached to anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have to touch all of these. So this one's got to touch all of that. And then we just have to have 1 more piece up. We're not sure which one it is. I've got to get 1 space to the right, and it's only going to be that space here. This is just how that's going to go. And I can do this, because then we're fine. Yeah, it's got to be this one. Oh, those are the same shape. Haha. I can do this. There we go. That's correct. Yeah, that's fine. Now I need 1. Can't do that, so it's got to be this. I think this is going to work. That's the same shape? So now this is the shape. That felt trickier than I wanted it to be, but it's fine. It just felt very unsatisfying, and I think that was me. I don't think that's the puzzle. I just think I just bounced off that one pretty hard. That is how it's going to go. I think that is something you can't ever blame a developer for. If you put a lot of stuff in your game, there are going to be things that people just don't like. And I really want to make the distinction between this was unpleasant, but it's fine, I just didn't like it, versus this is unpleasant and I really, really don't like it. And I think it was designed in a way that was very poor. Like, I think I need to make the distinction. I don't usually make it. I usually trust that my 2 fans will make that distinction for me. But you can never trust people on the internet. What am I supposed to do with this? Can I go 1 space to the left? So this has got to be a 1-2, right? We can't make this, because it's got to be a box shape. So however far down I go, right? I'm ignoring this. Like, if I go down this far, I still have to go to the left. And if I go to the left, all of this has to be filled in. So we just have to have a 1-2 shape there. A 4 in a box shape could be this very easily. It also could be that very easily. This 5 has got to be a straight line. You can't make a box in any other way. And this 5 can't be a straight line this way, it'll overload. So it's got to be a straight line like this. This can't go there. This we can't. This has to be just another one of these. This 3. Well, this has got to go 2 spaces down. And it's got to be direct. I guess when you have boxy with compass, I should know this. You have to go directly from the compass. You can't go around, right? If I block this at all, I'll never get 2 spaces below because I need to make it a box shape. So I actually do have to do it, which means this has to move up and down this way. This has to move here, and it's not going to be like that. So it's got to be a straight line, or it's got to be that. So this is just complete. This has to be 4 above. We can only get 2 above here. So our options are 4 above with something like this. It's going to way overload. Or 4 above like so. Yeah, let's do that. This is 3. 4 above. This I'm pretty sure is going to be like so. Yeah. This is how you get 4 above one way. Getting 4 above like so also works, but then this is complete. So it is going to be this shape. This shape is going to have to move over this way and then have 3. I think this is it. Hold on, let's make that a different color. Oop. What color's not close to what I'm doing there? There it is. 1 and 1 means I have to move out this way. And I can't go down, this is going to overload. So now I've got this filled in like so. Pretty sure I've got to fill in like that. Right? Do I have any other? I don't have a Mingle shape rule, which is fine. Like, I can do this. This is fine. I think I'm just done. Yeah, I'm just done. That was good. How many more here? Are we close? I'm not even close. Holy crap. I gotta stop. I gotta stop and come back for the rest of these. Will I even do the rest of these in one video? It's just so long. Like, individual puzzles themselves aren't. There's a few that take a while, but I figure with an average of 10 minutes per puzzle. No, my average has to be much lower than that. 10 minutes per puzzle in a game with 1,000 puzzles. That's 10,000 minutes? How much is that? 6 puzzles per hour. Wait, hold on, that'd be like 150 plus hours. I'm not even close to that. I've got to be going faster than that. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's too much. Like, individually, they're fine. The whole thing comes together to just make the game a drag. Yeah, I got to do that. I got to make sure that anytime I'm having a good time, I have to end the video by reminding everybody that the game devs really bungled that one and made the game too big. It's unfortunate because this really, really has a lot of promise. All right, well, I'm going to head out and come back and do a different section, get my brain on something else besides compasses. See you then. Have a good one.